Alright, this is video one of the initial setup for the alternator. This is the Honda 190cc. It's going to go on the Honda 200cc. So I assume that it'll take a little bit of different brackets, but these should still be in the same position. And I'm not 100% sure on this yet, but the idea here is we're going to make the alternator fit with the mow clutch, and we're going to do a universal bracket that puts it on the 190 or the 200, because I think in the end everybody's going to update. And from Tom and Painless said that there was room for a pulley back here with the mow clutch, and there was still 30 thousandths room clearance, and then we'll weld the pulley on. It's all got to be fabricated. It looks like it fits virtually completely underneath the air cleaner on the 190, and we use the two lower bolts here to come up and grab the pin bracket here for it to pivot on. So it's just completely stock. In fact, we're going to use the stock Geo steel bracket here and then weld tabs on it to put it on here. And then it looks to me like we'll be able to put the factory arm that swings out and grabs the alternator that it slides up and down on right off of these right off that pinhole right there. It's being used for that spring, and that'll be really slick. The idea here is I grab the pulley off of here. This is a water pump pulley off of a Geo Metro, and it's the same size as the crankshaft pulley, almost exactly, so we get the right ratio. And you can see how it's got an offset to it. The idea here is to machine the center of this pulley out, because it's a serpentine belt, and there's a reason for going with the serpentine belt. A V-belt steals too much horsepower trying to get traction. But then this can be machined out, and then we'll put a steel pulley on here that's keywayed that locks down on a standard shaft, and then we'll weld this right to it, and then we can slide it on the pulley wherever it takes to get the alignment. So the idea is something to that effect, you know. But it can go anywhere. It can get welded right on the edge of the pulley, in fact, and it'll have a little bit of adjustment. But the cool thing is it should still pull right in and out with no issues. And it doesn't weigh very much. You can see how I can just toss it up and down. And then I believe, if I'm looking at this right, the electric starter goes on that side. The alternator will put it on this side. And that'll be nice, because that puts the plug on the back of the alternator facing the side you can reach to in the engine compartment. So you can reach down here and unplug the factory O-ring sealed waterproof connector, and then the stud that goes to the battery, we'll have to put that on some kind of a nice clean plug that likes to be plugged and unplugged without wearing out, which should be no problem at all. And so I don't see any problems with doing the 190s for the guys that are going to stay that way. And we'll get to the 200s when they show up. Initially, we were going to put a bracket that bolted on these four holes. Excuse me, and came out and then attached to it, but excuse me. I think this setup's going to be a lot cleaner. That is a early Geo Metro, or like a 1994 Suzuki Geo Tracker, Suzuki Sidekick alternator. And I will tell you, they call this a Mini, and this is also a Suzuki alternator, and that's just a little bit bigger one, and that would fit too. That one's just a little smaller and a little lighter. They both weigh virtually, they're really close to each other. And I believe it's the difference between, you know what, I can't remember if it's just a year change and they just changed all of them, or if that's like for air conditioning or not. But they'll bolt into the same place. So when you get all done, if for some crazy reason you go, I need more than 30-40 amps, you can go all the way up to a high output AC one, and the brackets and the plug-in are exactly the same and in the same spot virtually. Not a bad way to go, I think.